Let's dive into Molly's training so we can stay consistent at home. So let's start off with talking about her commands and how we can reward Molly for doing a good job so she will continue to do those commands. Let's start off with heel. Heel means walk next to us on a loose leash on our left-hand side. Whenever we tell her heel, she understands that if she walks next to us on the left-hand side, there is a chance she's going to get rewarded, and she also understands what the corrections might be if she chooses not to follow the command, but we'll talk about corrections here in a little bit. So when she is doing a really good job walking next to us, we want to make sure we reward that behavior by either praise, petting, or treats. So those are your options to tell her, hey, you're doing a good job, continue to do that. So in the beginning, when you first take her home, definitely have treats with you. That way you can reward the behavior. How I suggest doing that in the beginning is good heel, giving a reward, and then continuing your walk. All walks should be about 85 to 90% in the heel position, and then you can use the other 10 to 15% to have her free, which the release word for that would just be free. She can go walk around, sniff, and that's her time to do whatever she wants, and we follow her for that portion of the walk. That way she still gets her sniffs and fulfillment, but then we go back to the heel. That way we can be nice and structured during our walk so that when we pass by distractions, she's not already in a free mindset. She's in more of a structured mindset. That way she is more likely to just follow the heel command rather than react to whatever distraction she sees. Next we have sit. Sit means stay until she's told free. So for example, going through a doorway, we're going to have her sit. We're also going to remind her sit when we open the door or when a distraction walks by. This is letting her know, hey, remember you're in a command, you're doing a job, don't get up from that command. When she does a good job, good sit. And then we can move on with either free or heel. Again, free means she's done with that command. Heel is breaking the sit stay and telling her, hey, we're going to walk forward. Then we have down. Down means lay down and stay. Whenever we reward this command, we want to reward low, so she understands to stay low to the ground. And again, when we go to release her, it is the free command. Whenever a distraction goes by, or let's say you want to put her in a down and then walk away, have her stay, you're going to remind her with the down command again. So you're going to tell her down to lay down. Before you walk away, you're going to remind her down, and then walk away. What that's doing is it's telling her, hey, even though I'm moving, it doesn't mean it's time for you to move, giving you that verbal reminder to stay in that command. The reason we just repeat the same word is so she doesn't have to memorize what stay means. She understands the first word and that it just means stay until she's told free, the release command. Then we have place, same idea. It's an elevated boundary. So when we reward with the place command, we put the treat on the actual bed. So that way she knows that the bed is what produces the reward. Staying on this boundary is the good spot. When distractions happen, remind her place. And then when she does a good job, reward good place. Then we have come when called. Everything is done on leash. So we have a nice 30-foot long leash, not a retractable leash, so she can be free, roam around, explore, sniff, do her thing. And then when we want her to come back to us, we say come, back up, sit, give her a treat. When we're calling her back to us, we say come in a firm, loud tone. When she's running back to us, we praise her, because we're praising the action of her coming to us. And then we have her sit and give her the physical treat. That's how we're going to reward these commands, with either praise, petting, or treats. Now let's talk about what to do if she doesn't listen to each command. We have this slip collar here. How we put this on Molly is we open this up, put it around, and then we have this tab to slide. You want to make sure that the tab is fit pretty snug, but you can still fit one finger underneath. What this does is it allows her to not slip out of the collar, and it gives us a little bit of control with her if we need it in that situation. So like, unlike a flat collar where she might be able to slip out, this one she's not going to be able to. So what this collar does is it allows us to set boundaries and follow through with our commands. So let's start with heel. The leash should be loose, right? If she's doing a good job, we already know how to reward. If she chooses not to walk next to us, let's say she gets distracted, or she's just like, I'm going to go sniff over here and not follow the heel command, you're going to mark that incorrect behavior with a verbal no, then pop and release the leash and remind her heel. So it's no, pop, heel. What that does is it says, hey, you're in a command. You have to listen to this command. I'm going to follow through if you don't, and here's the consequence if you choose not to do the command. But if you do, again, we have the rewards. So it's no, pop, heel. Then we have sit. Same idea. Let's say we tell her sit and she's like, no, thanks, I don't want to. No, pop, sit. So what you're doing is you're telling her, I'm going to give you this command. You have two options. You can either do it and get a reward or not and get a little leash pressure, because you're going to listen to the commands in every scenario, not just at home. If she gets up from her sit stay, no, pop, sit. That's the same pattern every time. We mark the incorrect behavior with a verbal no, we follow through with the leash pressure, and then we repeat the command again. Same thing for down. The only difference with down is instead of popping and releasing the leash up, we're actually going to pop and release downward. So let's say you put her in a down and then she decides to get up before you tell her free, no, pop, down. You have to stay until I tell you the release command of free. And a key part with down in place is we don't release from a distance. We always go back to her, good down, whether it's praise, treats, or pets, or all three, and then we tell her free. So we don't put her in a down 10 feet away and then call her to us, because we don't want to release her from a distance. We want that stay to be really strong, so we always go back to her and then free her from the stay position that she's in. So that's down. Then we have place. So this one depends on how far away from the bed she gets. So let's say you put her on place and she decides to walk off. It's no, pop, pop back to the bed, however many pops it takes to get her back onto the bed, and then you remind her place. So it's one verbal no, pop, 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 place, until she gets back on, and then you do whatever you did before to break her from that command. So let's say the doorbell rang and she got off a place, no, pop, pop, put her back on place and ring the doorbell again, or ask your guest to ring the doorbell again. That way she understands, hey, this distraction is going to happen. If you get off of the command, it's a correction, but if you stay, it's then a reward. Always make sure you end on a good note with her so she understands what your expectations are at home. Then we have come when called. You're going to have the long leash on her. There shouldn't be any tension on the leash when you're calling her. It should be nice and loose, just dragging behind her. If you call her to come to you and she doesn't, no, tug and reel her in with the long leash, and then have her sit. Still praise and pet, but no physical treat, because we want to make sure that she knows that the treats only come when the treats only happen when she comes to you the first time you call her. So if you have to correct, no physical treat right after. So those are her commands. That's how we are going to stay consistent. Reward the behaviors you want to see to continue to see those rewards. Use the slip collar to correct the unwanted behaviors, or when she doesn't listen or follow through with your commands. That way you can stay consistent at home, and she will transfer the training over to you guys. So have fun, stay consistent, and now we're going to show you Molly's commands.
place